Hi, Nick from Scope Training, and today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to apply the concept of quality to our setting, to the training environment. Because, look, whether you go to a conference, you read a LinkedIn article, quality in training gets used so much. It's probably the biggest word, especially when it comes to the vet sector. It becomes quality in vet, quality training, this and this and this. 99% of the time, the word quality is used incorrectly. So hopefully this will help people understand what the word really means rather than just what the market perception of the term indicates. So I usually like to start off by delineating two terms. The first one is grade. And this is, in my contention, technical awesomeness, which is often what we interchange quality for. But grade, and I'll give you some practical examples. In a training environment, a high grade training room, for instance, may look like this. All right. You can see it's technically awesome. It's got, high infrastructure. It's really pleasant. It's great. It's a great environment. It's a very high grade facility. A lower grade setup may look something like this. All right. And don't be troubled if this is the environment in which you operate. It has to be someone's environment because I actually got it from a photo somewhere. So this is legit. Right? None of this at this point is quality yet. All right, let's keep going. What about resources? The text, all the things that we give the learners to encourage and increase learning and retention. Again, examples of high-grade resources. Examples of low-grade resources. Cool. Again, don't freak out if you're in the low-grade basket. Let's talk about trainers. Examples of a high-grade trainer. All right, you might have someone super academic. They know their material implicitly. They've got 28 PhDs. They've got so much industry experience, it's not funny. Then you might have a lower grade facilitator in that context. May have less academic rigor, may have less vocational experience and so on. Right? Great. So at this point, none of this stuff indicates quality or is representative of quality. Right? For quality to come into the picture, we have to determine who is assessing quality because this is going to be different. For every person, quality may be different based on this stuff versus their requirements. So quality is the degree to which a product or service is able to fulfill the needs or requirements of an individual. In training, especially in the vet sector, this is complicated because there are different people and a massive amount of different people establishing what quality is. Right? So to me, as a learner, quality may be actually, an environment like this. I feel more comfortable. For me, it may be less resources because I just love listening to the person talk, and that's how I learn personally. For me, quality may actually be the non-academic person because they're talking about this technical language I don't understand, and I want someone to break it down to first principles. Right? So for me, that may be a quality product. That may be my version of quality. Take stakeholder number 2. It could be their manager, a corporate client. And their corporate client may say, well, no, our brand is going to be ruined if we go down this model. We don't want to send our learners or our employees there. And we want the most academically qualified person because then we have confidence they know their stuff. So for an employer, that might be quality. For a learner, this may be quality. Let's throw other stakeholders in there. So you've got, maybe regulators. You've got, in vet, you've got ASQA, you've got the state regulators, and their perception of quality may be different. It may hinge closer on this type of the technical stuff, the grade model. Or they might not care as much because as long as we're meeting the learner outcome, they're sweet, and the employer outcome. So everyone's got a different version of quality. So just like beauty, quality is in the eye of the beholder. And often that's why we get in so much trouble when it comes to training, because everyone's definition of a quality training product is going to vary, which is fine. Right? And hopefully this has shown you that it's actually okay to have a low-grade solution, a low-grade product, or a lesser-grade solution. But what's not okay is to have a low quality solution. So if I'm pitching everything here, and my learners want everything here, well, this stuff is actually lower quality than this stuff. And when I talk about quality, I'm talking about fitness for purpose here. So what's more fit for purpose for my learner? That should be your starting point in training. Now, how to make this work practically? Because it's impossible if you go too broad. So make your learning really targeted. Start by segmenting your market and saying, look, who are my learners? Have a very defined target market and say, look, my learners are this group. You know, in our case for Scope, most of them are corporate professionals, right? They come with existing industry experience. They practically are suitable to RPL, but they choose to come to get learning, a bit of a refresher and so on. So by understanding their needs and their requirements, we can then tailor our approach to really define quality for them and also quite often their employers who are sending them to the training. So that's how we define quality, by starting here. What are our learners' needs? And then, you know, getting something that actually resonates with that individual learner. Now I'm just going to go very quickly about this volume of learning equation, and this has thrown a lot of people off. And here we're not actually talking about quality as well. We're talking about quantity. All right? So we've got a quantity versus quality equation. All right? And when I put versus, it shows that it's not the same thing. They can be the same thing. So for a learner that's here, very early on at the start of their learning journey, no industry experience, no idea of what you're talking about. Quantity may be good. They might need a rigorous program to take them through, step by step, through that whole entire journey. But quality and quantity equations can be different for someone here. Someone here, if I say, look, you need to sit in this classroom for a year and learn, and you need to sort of forget everything you've learned in your life experience and start here, this application of quantity is actually going to be low quality for that learner. Right? So for us, when we're making a decision about how long our training should be, again, start here. Start with their needs. Work out where their gaps are and train to the gaps. That's the only way this model is actually going to be sustainable. All right, hopefully that's helped delineate a couple of concepts. Quality is not making it longer, more awesome, and so on. It's about suiting the needs of the learner and knowing that every learner has individual needs. So it's a bit of extra work, but it's well worth it. Identify their needs, make that the starting point, and then contextualize your training to suit that. Cool. That's me signing off. Cup of tea time.